Registered dietitian Andrea Holwegner is here to talk about healthy meals on a budget for those busy family weekdays, so basically every week. And you've got a few simple steps that you're going to take us through, some examples. Always so helpful, Andrea. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Budget, cost of food, this is a major source of stress for so many families. So how do we make it easier is
How do you make it easier? And sometimes finding those deals that are out there. We know there's so many flyers and these digital coupons and all of this stuff. So look for those flyers.
Yeah, so I'd like to suggest, there's a whole bunch of different options out there. One that's really popular with many of our clients is called Flip. F-L-I-P-P, and it puts all of the grocery store flyers there. And I'd like to encourage people to think about using that as the source of innovation for what they're going to plan this week. So people go into planning mode and they think about what they want to have, but maybe those items are actually going to be really expensive this week. And if finances are tight, let that innovation and that inspiration come from what is seasonal and what is actually on special at your local stores.
Yeah, I like that. Having it all in one place too. So that's a really great resource. Love that. Well, let's talk about then the budget-friendly items, budget-friendly foods. What should we be looking for?
Yeah, and you know what? Really, seasonal is always going to be best. I was just at the farmer's market. People that have watched my segments know I'm a fanatical farmer's market shopper. That's where you're going to get really great value and really great fresh local things. So good time to go and get items there. Okay. But if fresh items are expensive, just know that frozen items are really great from a cost-effective perspective. So frozen vegetables, for example, are as nutritious as fresh ones. So they're always great choices. If there's no fresh peas, then of course frozen peas are an excellent cost-effective option.
And just have that your freezer stocked up with those items for sure, and then they're always there for you. What kind of items are in season, would you say, right now?
Oh, it's all like the best of harvest right now. So it's beets and carrots, and we'll talk about what's here, sweet potatoes, yams, Brussels sprouts, all sorts of good stuff.
And being on a budget is so important for so many families, but also trying to be healthy as well.
Yeah, when we're looking at protein, so when we look at what costs a lot on people's grocery bills, it can be produce, it can be actually a lot of convenience foods that aren't necessarily the most nutritious, but it can also be things like meats and seafoods and poultries. So I encourage people to think about adding in some plant-based options. So beans, lentils, chickpeas are nutritional powerhouses. These are just awesome things we want people to be eating. So even if you think of making your favorite family's pasta meat sauce or chili, what I'd encourage you to do is add in an extra can or two of beans or chickpeas into your regular sauce, or triple the amount of beans that you normally add into your beef-based chili, for example. And that really stretches that meat budget, and it adds so much good nutrition, for example.
Because that's where you can get your protein too, right? From those lentils and the beans.
Yes.
Well, let's start with this casserole that you have prepared here. What is in it? How did you do this?
This is a one-pot meal. I thought, okay, I'm going to do one pan and one pot.
Love
Keep it super simple for busy weekdays.
Yes.
This is a cowboy beef and bean casserole. And so what we've got in here is you start off by just sauteing some onions, some garlic, some ground meat. If you don't do ground beef, you could use ground poultry, ground pork. You could also do a veggie ground round if you're vegetarian. And then you're going to add in some beans. So just your canned beans and tomato sauce, or any bean you like, really. Canned stewed tomatoes that are diced, some chili powder. You're going to put in a cup of some sort of a broth, and then you're going to add in a couple cups of whatever kind of frozen veggies you like, and a couple cups of noodles. And my family's not big on like whole grain noodles, but I like snuck it in here because there's a lot of stuff going in here just to see if I could, get them to love this stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Just stick the spinach in there and the lasagna, they'll never notice. Let's go to our pan, and you can do both these at the same time, right? Pot, pan.
Yeah.
What's in the pan here?
There we go. So this is a sheet pan meal. It's a Dijon pork. You could do chicken, you could do fish, you could do, if you're vegetarian, I would roast the veggies, and then I'd pop a veggie burger on the top. So lots of different variations on how you can do a one sheet pan meal. I've used sweet potatoes here because I was just at the market. They got a nice big bag of them. Little carrots, and this is actually diced apples in here that are peeled.
Oh, is it? Oh,
so
yes,
it's kind of like a seasonal, the best of the season.
I wouldn't think of putting apples in here in the oven. That's awesome.
And then as a marinade, you're just doing a little bit of any kind of juice. And one of the things that we know about budget shopping is this recipe called for apple juice. Well, I didn't have it. I had orange juice, so I used that instead.
Oh, perfect.
Substitutions are great. Some rosemary, Dijon, a little maple syrup, some garlic. and it's all ready to go.
Oh, love this. Great ideas, definitely on a budget. And I think in the time we've talked, you could probably prepare all that stuff in your kitchen. Thank you so much to Andrea. For more information, you can check healthstandnutrition.com. Thank you.
Thank you.